So it's time now to move to the opening statements. The candidates have drawn lots to determine the order in which they'll speak. A reminder, every candidate has 2 minutes for an opening statement. So our first candidate that we'll hear from is Gary Riddell. You have 2 minutes.
I've been on the board now for a total of about 10 years between the Montero board and the Half Moon Bay Fire Protection District, or Coastside. And I've lived in Montero for 54 years. I'm a retired firefighter with 25 years of experience between the Montero and Half Moon Bay Fire Protection District. When I got on the board, I was really disappointed to discover what was actually going on in terms of meeting the needs of the community and the service levels that CAL FIRE was not providing. To say I was disappointed would be an understatement. We tried working with CAL FIRE to have them meet the terms of the contract and to provide the services our community has had for years when we had a local fire department. We worked with them, and CAL FIRE's inability or unwillingness to provide those services falls totally on their shoulders. We gave them every opportunity in our contract to, and gave them the opportunity also to specify the service levels they were able to deliver, even though they were lower than the ones our communities have traditionally had in the past. So, working with CAL FIRE and having them comply with the contract, we had very little success. And what left me with only one option, and that was to look at what other options were available for this community. And CAL FIRE has not been able to provide those services, and the contract proves that. And even working with them to try to modify it.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next candidate is Lee McCusick.
Well, thank you for hosting this forum, the Midcoast Community Council, and I hope all of your voters and that you benefit from this forum. I've been walking the precinct, and yesterday I talked to, well, my count for 2 days of work is 120 people, and the count is 120 people want to keep CAL FIRE, and they asked me, well, how do I do it? One particular lady early in the walk yesterday said, I called 911, and before I hung up the telephone, I heard the sirens in the distance. Then about a block away, I was talking to another lady, and she said, well, yeah, they seemed to be here right after I hung up the phone. And gosh, they were fast, and they were professional, and they did what had to be done. Now, I was getting a little interested in this, so I started asking some more questions the next time somebody said this. And they said, yeah, it was really fast. What do I do, and how do I mark my ballot in order to keep CAL FIRE on the coastside? And I heard I would count the score 120-0 for keep CAL FIRE. And that's my story.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McCusick. Our third candidate is Mike Alifano, 2 minutes.
Thank you for having me tonight. Appreciate the opportunity to get the message out about why we're here. I find it very frustrating that we're here because a union that works for CAL FIRE couldn't perform. We had a 5-year contract, or a contract for 5 years, and we clearly had issues getting them to perform by the mutually agreed upon terms of the contract. It was very evident to me as a new board member 2.5 years ago, it was a struggle. But I waited to see a clear issue, which were the fire marshals, and I watched CAL FIRE drop the ball. Clearly the entire board at the time told them, don't move people, this is going to be an issue. They did it. That means that the state's needs trump the local needs. We want local control. It's what we're here for. It's what we're on the board to do. And unfortunately, CAL FIRE is unresponsive to those needs. I hoped that CAL FIRE could step up and perform. I was the board member that put on the table a motion to look at what it costs and what it takes to have our own fire department. I was hoping CAL FIRE would get the message and step up, and I didn't. And so we're here today after a year and a half of debate, public debate, and the board majority has decided to move forward with a standalone agency. A locally controlled fire department is what we need. We can hire a fire chief that works for the pleasure of the board. We can hire locally minded fire professionals that are part of our community. The Half Moon Bay Review agrees with us. The San Mateo Daily Journal agrees with us. San Mateo Labor Council agrees with us. We're dealing with two different unions here. Vote no on the recall. This has been a brand new experience for me, but I think it's the right decision for us after lots of debate, and I think the community understands that also, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Malafano. Our fourth candidate is Doug McIntosh, 2 minutes.
Thank you. I've been privileged to serve on the board for 21 of the last 33 years that I've been on the Coastside. During that time, I've served in many positions, one of which was as negotiating committee member who put a paramedic on every engine in this county and brought 2 ambulances to the Coastside. I've seen the development of a first-class cliff rescue program, a water rescue and water safety program. I've worked on the finance committee to see that the district continues to always operate in the black. And I've worked on a building committee which saw the new Half Moon Bay station built from within the existing budget. For 4 years, I tried to develop a positive working relationship with CAL FIRE and find a way to make this marriage work. For the last year, I've added the knowledge and experience by carefully analyzing the cost of a local department and studying if it is the best solution for improving fire department services on the Coastside. My conclusion, it is. There's a lot of agendas at play in this recall, but I have just one agenda, and that is to bring the best possible level of emergency protection to the coast that we can afford. My job tonight is not to criticize the recall proponents, but to share with you the time and effort we put into arriving at this decision. This is what I was elected to do: to study, listen, analyze, and make the hard, if not necessarily popular, decisions with the guiding principle of how can I improve the service level provided by the fire department while staying within the budget.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh. And finally, Karen Anderson, her opening statement.
Good evening. I too am very happy to be here this evening speaking to you. My name is Karen K. Anderson. I've been a 13-year resident of Cañada Cove and Half Moon Bay here on the coast. First this evening, I want to express my concern for any of the members of the Half Moon Bay Review editorial board who may have been injured during their jump onto the fence in today's Half Moon Bay Review. I hope they're all doing well by now. I find it very interesting that this editorial came out on the same day as I received new information from the No on the Recall showing that they are endorsed by the entire Half Moon Bay City Council. One of the members, of course, as you all probably know, is Mike Alfano's father. And they are some major business people who support the Half Moon Bay Review. Now, I certainly can't prove that there is a correlation between this timing, but my opponents have shown clearly that proving anything is not part of this debate. They have made outrageous statements, pure, unadulterated lies, and when they start lying about me, that's when I get my Irish out, as they say. I have not accepted one dime from any union, and if you don't believe me, you can go to the elections office and look over my reporting forms. You can go to my personal banker and she'll open the books to you. You won't find anything from a union. In their account, you'll find $26,000 from outside unions, from the San Mateo, 2,400, over the hill. They were endorsed today by other entities from over the hill. Local support, that's laughable. It means support of 2,400, their union.
Thank Thank you, Ms. Anderson. And I'd just like to remind the candidates that I hope you'll keep your comments targeted to your own qualifications for office and your own opinions rather than, being personal about other candidates. Anyway, thank you.
They be personal about me, I'm
Excuse
gonna be personal about them.
Excuse me.